The Cuban doctors who worked at this primary health center on the outskirts of Brasilia are gone. Havana has begun recalling more than 8,000 doctors who work in poor and remote areas throughout Brazil, after President-elect Jair Bolsonaro described them as slaves of a communist regime.
Our community was used to having Cuban doctors. Now we don't know if anyone is going to replace them.
The confrontation with Cuba is just the first step of a major shakeup ahead in Brazilian foreign policy. The president-elect's promise to follow Donald Trump's footsteps by relocating Brazil's embassy in Israel to Jerusalem has outraged Muslim nations.
In such ways, they are trying to emulate the strategies and the narratives that Donald Trump did in terms of the U.S. The main difference is the fact that Brazil is not U.S. We don't have the same power that the U.S. have.
Indeed, Brazil sells at least $5 billion of beef to Egypt, the Middle East, and Gulf nations. Producers fear they could retaliate if the move goes ahead. Bolsonaro has added fuel to the fire by saying Palestine isn't a country and therefore shouldn't have an embassy here, breaking with long-standing support for a two-state solution to the Palestinian-Israeli conflict.
Brazil
has always behaved as an intermediator and not a participant in the conflict. We hope it remains that way for Brazil's sake, for its long-standing prestige as a nation that respects international law.
But Bolsonaro, who's been nicknamed the tropical Donald Trump, is shifting from multilateralism to a strong alignment with Washington. This is Brazil's foreign ministry. Its new boss will be a mid-level diplomat with no experience as an ambassador, but whose main characteristic is his staunch support for the U.S. president. And like Bolsonaro and President Trump, the new foreign minister questions the existence of climate change, which he in fact describes as Marxist dogma. Bolsonaro may not be going as far as Donald Trump, who has withdrawn from the Paris Agreement. But North and South America's two largest countries look set to join forces to push a conservative foreign policy agenda throughout the globe. Lucia, Newman, Al Jazeera, Brasilia.